Welcome to Voices of Resilience, part of the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, where stories of strength, healing, and hope come to life. I'm your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons, and this space is dedicated to amplifying the voices of those who've turned pain into purpose. Each episode, we dive into real conversations about courage, self discovery, and rising stronger than ever. So lean in, take a deep breath, and be inspired by the incredible voices of resilience, because every story has the power to heal. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Voices of Resilience. I'm your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons. And this episode, we have a truly inspiring guest joining us. Our guest today is Bree Davis, an author, entrepreneur, cosmetologist, transformational speaker, and a woman deeply committed to helping people heal, grow, and reclaim their purpose. Bree is the creator of the Rise and Reclaim movement and co founder of Semper Fi Solutions. Through her personal testimony, books, workshops, and community work, she empowers others to move beyond trauma, embrace accountability, and intentionally build a life rooted in healing, purpose, and legacy. With more than 25 years in beauty and wellness, Bree also believes in the power of self care and confidence, reminding people that sometimes changing your crown can help change your mindset. She's a 3-time published author, including her healing workbook, From Testimony to Transformation, and Foot First Legacy, which focuses on accountability, masculinity, and legacy building. Today, we're going to have a real conversation about healing, overcoming adversity, purpose driven living, and what it truly means to be great on purpose. Let's welcome Bree Davis. Hey, Bree.
Hi, Davina. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited to have you on today.
I'm
I am
excited.
very excited.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So, how have you been?
I've been great. Great.
Yeah.
Busy,
Uh,
staying the course,
Doing the work, right? Doing
Right.
the work. Yeah. Been doing that for years. I remember years ago when we met, you were on the grind then and you still are to help others. And I
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate that. Yeah. So let's get into it. So your story is deeply rooted in transformation and healing, right?
Yes.
Um, what first inspired you to turn your personal experiences into a mission to help others?
Well, I had to realize that what I had survived, it wasn't just for me. I was blessed enough to still be here so that I could tell somebody about it and help others heal as well. Um,
Mhm.
there came a point where I had to stop just seeing myself only as what I had been through and start, using that pain for purpose.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
once I began healing, honestly doing the work, people naturally started opening up to me, and I understood that my testimony had power. That inspired me to create spaces and conversations, books and programs that reminded people that they don't have to stay stuck where they started from.
It's true. It's true. And I understand that, it's not like it's a choice. At some point, you're called and you have to answer the call. And it takes years as you're transforming. Some of us are really driven to help others, and And it almost makes me think sometimes, did I go through these things for that reason? Like this is my purpose, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you talk about accountability. Often you speak about accountability in addition to healing. Why do you believe accountability is such an important part of personal transformation?
Well, because healing without accountability can turn into excuses.
Ooh.
And at some point, we have to acknowledge what happened to us, not only what happened to us, but also take responsibility for how we move forward.
Hmm. Hmm.
Accountability is empowering because it reminds us that we still have choices.
Hmm.
Once you know better, you have a responsibility to consciously do better.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
I made like one of my models is being great on purpose.
Mm.
You don't have to have a whole bad day. Of course, bad things gonna happen, but you can
Mhm.
just okay, that was a bad moment, but I'm gonna shake it off and I'm gonna keep on going. So, and
Mhm.
I take that in accountability as well. You know, you take accountability. You quit making excuses for your life, and you get up and you make
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. That's powerful. I want to stay there for a moment because um, oftentimes I'm trying to teach my middle school students that in the classroom, and I think that it's easier for some people to stay stuck and just because maybe if they realize that they can change it, then they won't necessarily get the love and attention they crave. Sometimes people want people to notice them and they want voice, they want to be out there. And being accountable, you just, like you said, you take care of it and you move on. You need to be able to do that. So I wonder about that sometimes, but I think that the healing comes in accepting your responsibility in the situation. At least that's what I've learned. What do you think about that?
Oh, you really can't grow unless you take accountability. If you're constantly blaming the world and oh, how I grew up and I never had a chance, then when do you have to take responsibility? When does that responsibility become your own?
Right, right, right. Yeah, I used to I used to have this example that I'd use a lot, and I haven't used it lately, but you made me think of it just now. Um, taking responsibility and being accountable is one of those things where sometimes things happen in our lives that we know fully that it's not our fault,
Hmm.
that really isn't our fault. However, um, that doesn't mean that there's not something in it that you have to take responsibility for or be accountable to, right? So I say if somebody leaves a baby on your doorstep, you open the door, see the baby, and then close the door.
Hmm.
It's not your baby. You didn't leave it there. But do you but do you leave it there? Like do you just let it go? And then when I use that example, people get it. Like, no, you're not going to leave a baby
Right,
there because that's a baby, right?
right, right.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the things we go through, if you don't take responsibility or be accountable, then what happens? It could be worse.
Absolutely. And once we are out of the age of innocence, you're
Right.
responsible for your actions as well as your inactions.
True.
You know,
True.
because
That's
doing
right.
nothing sometimes can be worse than doing something about it.
Inaction. Oh God, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. Um, so your movement, rise and reclaim. What does reclaiming your life truly look like for someone who feels stuck in pain or survival mode right now?
Okay, so for me, reclaiming your life starts with deciding that your pain will not have the final state say over your identity.
Mm.
It means learning who you are underneath the trauma,
Hmm.
your survival habits, fear, and disappointment. And sometimes it's small steps: resting, setting boundaries, seeking help, changing your
Hmm.
environment, or finally facing hard truth. Reclaiming is choosing to live intentionally instead of just surviving.
Okay. It's about intention. I'm just jotting down real quick because you said something that there was so much good stuff in what you just said. Survival habits. That's,
Survival habits.
yeah. Tell me more about that.
Sometimes we get on autopilot and don't even know that we're on autopilot. We're
Hmm.
so stuck in survival mode that there's no conscious thought in it at all. We just doing what we know to do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, in criminology, it's called criminogenic thinking. Somebody that just steals, even if they don't even, they may have a pocket full of money and just take something anyway. It's still that criminogenic thinking that they have to get rid of. And that goes with the survival, you know,
Hmm.
survival, getting out of that survival mode
Hmm.
and consciously thinking about your next steps and moving intentionally,
Hmm.
moving with intention.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. Now, is that something that people you think have to learn? Um, and it's about who you hang around. It's about who you, right? Because it's
Absolutely.
somebody. Go ahead, talk about that because
You
I
got to
think that's important.
stick with the winners. None of this stuff. Absolutely. To answer your question, absolutely. There comes with an unlearning and a relearning.
Hmm.
Letting go of
Hmm.
some of those things that no longer serve you, that are
Hmm.
detrimental to you and where you're going in the future. You have to get rid of those things.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah.
Stick with the
That's,
winners. Find you a new crowd.
mm.
You know.
Stick with the winners. I'm gonna have to steal that one. I like that because I always say, and I didn't make this up, but you're as good as the five people that you hang around with the most, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So yeah. So find the people that you see are winning.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. That's good stuff. Um, this is interesting. 25 years in beauty and wellness. Make that connection between beauty, self care, and emotional healing and confidence.
So beauty and self care are deeply connected to healing. Because when we look good, you feel good. You could be having a bad day. You go to the shop, you get your hair done, you get your feet rubbed, you get some new polish, and you don't have a care in the world. So
Uh-huh.
I attribute, self care and connecting to healing because people start caring for themselves again. They often start believing they matter again too. Behind the
Mm,
chair, I've heard life stories, heartbreak and victories, silent pain, and sometimes adjusting someone's crown externally helps them remember who they are internally. So
love
self
that.
care can be therapeutic, restorative, and transformational.
I love that. I love that. It's helping them to anchor back to who they really are
Absolutely.
and feel good about themselves.
And
Yeah.
even becoming who they've never even known they could be.
Ah.
Stepping out of their comfort zone and
Mm,
doing something different.
mm,
Nobody
mhm.
could have told me putting my locking my hair would change my perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I was all
yes.
locking my hair has been so cathartic, and I tell anybody do it at
Mhm.
least once in your life. If you
Mhm.
hate it, that's I get it, but you
Yeah.
may just learn to love it.
That is so true. It's spiritual. I used to hear people say that, and then I have had, I mean, like your crown,
Hmm.
all of this matters. And I'm a living testimony of what you're talking about, Bree. Often I look at older pictures of me on social media and in my, just in my album. I look older in the past than I am now.
Hmm.
I really looked older because I felt some way inside. I wasn't. I needed healing, so I
Hmm.
totally get it. And doing for myself, turning the attention to myself has made a huge difference in how I feel. So I totally agree with you.
Good.
That's powerful. And yeah, and I love my locks. I love my locks. But I think that's, you have that gift to help. It's almost healing. You're helping women, whomever you're doing their hair. In doing that too, you're making a connection with them. Like you said, you're hearing stories. You're the communication is there. So you're a big part of helping people transform while they're in your seat, and or through your workshops and your books and everything that you do. So it's pretty cool.
God has allowed
Um,
me to be a walking, talking, breathing testimony.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, yeah. So your workbook, From Testimony to Transformation, what are some of the biggest emotional barriers people struggle to overcome?
Shame,
Mm,
unforgiveness, unforgiveness for them, unforgiveness for others, fear, feeling unworthy are some of the biggest barriers that I see. Many people are
mhm,
carrying pain they never properly processed, so they
mm,
stay emotionally stuck even while they're trying to move forward physically. Another barrier is identity. People start believing their mistakes or their trauma defines them.
mm,
But my workbook encourages people to confront those emotions honestly so healing can
mhm,
truly begin.
mm, mm. And there's so much there to unpack. We could do 4 episodes on this. Honestly, there's a lot. Unprocessed pain. That's an episode right there.
Yeah.
Um, I used to say years ago, oh, feelings that are buried alive are still alive.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter. You can think, oh, I've stuffed this, I've dealt with this. I'm strong, I'm good, I'm whatever. And the truth of the matter is it's still affecting you in some way. It's
Hmm.
still, until you properly put it to rest. Um, Identity, that's huge. Because people believe so many things about themselves, whether true or not. So I love, that this is what you're addressing in your workbook. Emotional barriers, struggles. Yeah, all of that stuff is very important. What are hard truths? People need to stop running from hard truths. What are hard truths?
Things that are right in front of their face that they can't even see. Like they can see it, and you can know you know when it's the truth because it hits different. You feel it in your gut. You feel it in your body. You know what I'm saying? Some things we can hear and they can just roll off of our back because we know there's no validity to it. But the hard
Mm-hmm.
truths, you
Mm-hmm.
feel it. You know what I'm saying? That you
Mm.
carry it. You wake up with it. You go to
So,
sleep.
like some examples, when women, for instance, are in a relationship that's toxic, right? And they know it,
Hmm.
but they don't want to know it, because that means you got to make a decision,
Hmm.
or, things like that.
Hmm.
When someone tells them, those are hard truths to deal with.
I mean, yes, yes, and not even to because we all have them.
Yeah.
We all have them.
Hmm. 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 And that's
It
important
has.
to point out. Nobody's arrived at any place that they're at a point of complete healing or perfection. Um, right? It's a process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My husband's grandmother is 92, and she said, "We not perfect until we in the ground, until we in the
Hmm.
grave."
Hmm.
People
Hmm.
on this level, so we don't
Hmm.
even go for perfection. We look for progress, and it's a daily
Hmm.
thing. It can be a hourly, a minute by minute thing.
Hmm.
We look for progression, not perfection.
I like that. Progression, not perfection. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So your own experience, how did it change your life to face hard truths?
Well, it just came to the point where I either was going to be honest, you know, or stay stuck. And staying stuck wasn't an option for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
facing hard truths and sticking around to look them in the face and be honest with myself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
instead of constantly distracting myself with pain and mistakes, because a lot of the things are self-inflicted. You know, when you get in that place, a lot of them are self-inflicted. We have to be able to recognize them, and the process is very uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but it gave me peace and clarity, and I was able to find my purpose when I quit running from those hard truths. So it
Mm-hmm.
changed my relationships, my mindset, my
Mm-hmm.
marriage, and the way I'm able to show up for others.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's really good. Talk to us about your book, Foot First Legacy.
So Full First Legacy is not really my story, it's my husband's story.
Okay.
And uh, because healthy conversations around masculinity, accountability, and legacy are needed, like really needed more than ever right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to create something honest that speaks to men about healing,
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, leadership, and generational impact without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy is bigger than money. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's values and presence, wisdom, and the examples that you leave behind. So we want
Mm-hmm.
people to understand the cycles can be broken intentionally, and that's what First Legacy speaks to.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't write from a male perspective, so my husband was gracious enough to honor us with,
That's
with
good.
his.
So it was a joint.
He's not a big speaker, but I had to beg him for like the last 8 years, please, babe. And so we're really excited about it.
Yeah, yeah. So you co-authored it together.
Mhm.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, what made you what was so important about creating this, about telling that part of it? How does that connect?
You broke up. I couldn't hear you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, it froze. We're having technical difficulty, but no, I said, what was so important about that? How did you connect to that you knew that's something that needed to be shared?
I
Was
don't.
it?
I
Go
just
ahead.
don't see a lot of people talking about masculinity. I don't see a lot of married people. I thought we could be like a husband and wife motivational or inspirational, team.
Team.
We
Yeah.
came from, two different backgrounds, but we got together, and what we're doing now, we're building a legacy. We're doing things that are huge, for our grandkids, and with his grandmother, gardening, and just
Mm. Mm-hmm.
getting
Mm-hmm.
back to the root of things, family and generational wealth. And
That's powerful.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
really
no, there
excited about
definitely is a need for that perspective, from the male perspective. Um, and legacy, you said something, legacy is bigger than money. That was
it.
good. Yeah. Legacy is so
Yes,
much more than what you leave behind in terms of monetary. Hmm.
absolutely. It's the integrity. It's the messages that you leave. It's the purpose that you leave behind. You
Hmm.
know, so that the next generations are able to pick it up and take it forward.
Hmm. Yeah, and I feel like we're losing a lot of that within our culture, and that's disturbing. So I'm really glad that you're doing that, for sure, because it's a lot. Um, oh, somebody said, "Talk that talk, Bree." That's right. You know, it's um, it's interesting because I think our younger generation is not getting as much of the storytelling as we got. You know,
Hmm.
the part that is passed down within the story of who we are,
Absolutely.
and within that story is a lot of strength, right? A lot of what you can do, the positive side. And so I think that especially for males. So I think that the foot first legacy is powerful, and every family should be looking at that, because not only is masculinity important, but I like how you said accountability as well. Um, and that is how you build the legacy. So that's
Mhm.
very good. Um, so a lot of people want transformation, but they struggle with being consistent. What advice would you give someone to try to stay committed to their healing journey?
Stop waiting to feel motivated every day and commit anyway. Healing is not always glamorous. Sometimes it looks like discipline, boundaries, rest, honesty, and choosing differently repeatedly. Give yourself grace. You don't quit, and but don't quit on yourself. It's easy. Things get rough. We want to quit, or I need to take a step back. Move through it
Mhm,
anyway.
mhm,
Small intentional steps done consistently can completely change your life over time.
mhm. Yes, indeed. I would agree. I would agree. Um, Discipline, boundaries. Those two are, again, another whole episode, because what it takes to be disciplined, what it takes to, you know, stay in it. But like you said, you have to be intentional about it. You have to say, I want to heal. I want to change my life. And in doing so, whether I like it or not, these are the steps, right? This is what I
Mhm.
need to do. So, and then boundaries, whew, there's a lot on that too, because if anything goes, if we don't set boundaries, if we don't set boundaries for ourselves, um, you don't stand for something, you fall for anything and everything.
Yep.
So you have to be able to say, and this to me goes back to the who you hang out with, um, your community, your surroundings, your environment, all of those things matter. And so, yeah, um, it's good. It's good stuff. How's your faith influenced your healing process and your marriage and the work that you're doing today?
Faith gave me strength when I didn't fully believe in myself yet.
Okay.
It helped me understand that healing is possible. Purpose still exists after pain.
Mm.
Surrender. In my marriage, faith taught us accountability, um,
Mm.
grace, communication, and partnership. Everything we're building now, the books, the programs, and the movement, is rooted in our purpose, our service, and our faith.
Nice. Marriage and accountability hand in hand, right?
Absolutely.
Because if nothing else, you're accountable to your partner, to your life partner. You must be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It works both
Ain't
ways.
no days off.
No,
No,
no, not at all. Not
that's
at all. Yeah. And you help one another heal
absolutely.
in
It's
that
a
process.
partnership.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. And now that you're
Mhm.
writing together, um, because I'm sure there'll be some more.
It
There'll be some
is.
more. There'll
And
be.
it makes me excited because I see that he's excited about it. He's like, oh, it's so much more. Like I've been jotting down stuff. I know what I'm putting in the next book. I gotta talk about this next time. So it's
That's
good to
great.
see him excited as well.
That is great. That is great. You know, and Bree, we jumped right in, and I was just thinking about from the mind of our listeners, we jumped right into, talking about your work, but I don't think people truly get your story or who you are. What would you say in terms of,
I missed some of that, Miss Davina.
okay, yeah, it's cutting out. I said we jumped into talking about your work, but we didn't really tell people where you've, your story, where you came from. So it's kind of like they're probably wondering at a high level, what your journey um, that got you to this place. Because as I'm listening, I'm thinking, I know you, but what would you say to a person listening and trying to figure out who Bree Davis is?
Oh wow. Well, who I am today is definitely not who I was, you
Right.
know, 35 years ago. But
Mhm.
I I can't say it anymore. I am a walking, talking, reading testimony. I'm a
Mhm.
15-year-old mother who came from a 15-year-old mother who came from a 15-year-old mother.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
to say the least, I came from a long line of trauma and chaos, but by the grace of God, I've been able to overcome some things, and because of that, I I spend my life sharing my story to give somebody else hope. So
Mhm. That's
I
it.
yeah,
That's it. That's it. That's enough said. So they really understand why you are, in this work, why you doing what you do. Um, Someone listening today who may feel overwhelmed by their past, or maybe uncertain of their future, what would you want them to remember most about resilience and purpose?
I want them to remember that their beginning does not have to determine their ending. Your
Okay.
past may explain you, but it does not have to define you
Mhm.
forever. Um, Healing takes time, but every day you choose not to give up on yourself matters. There is purpose on the other side of struggle, and you still have time to become who you were created to be. So continue to be great on purpose.
Mm. Be great on purpose.
Great
Love
on
that.
purpose. It makes a difference. Like, I'm gonna be great on purpose, like intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that first of all, thank you for that, because I think a lot of people need that reminder. Um they I know we're having some technical difficulty. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The screen freezing. Um a lot of people need that reminder, and I think that is a very good compact way to put it. Be great on purpose. Remind people. That should be Bree. That's a bumper sticker. That's everything. Reminding people that you can set out to be intentional about changing your life, and you can be intentional about healing on your journey, but you have to be purposeful on it. You have to say, not only do I want to do this, but I need to take action. And I'm sure over the years you took action to change things in your life. You made good choices, and you figured out how to heal along the way.
Mhm.
So I love that. Be great on purpose. Um, it's definitely something that I think everybody can do. Everybody. No one's excluded from that, right?
Right.
So, what else would you like to share? Anything else you want to share with listeners? Anything on your heart that you want people to realize or know?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for allowing me to share my story and my heart. You know, if
Yeah.
there's one thing I want people to remember is this. Again, your beginnings don't have to determine how you end up. And
Yeah.
as sure as we live, we gonna leave this place. We
Mhm.
already know that. That's inevitable. But the purpose and the job of the living is to keep on living. So if
Mm.
we just focus on living and being great on purpose, you know, we're gonna be all right. Everything else is taken care of for us. We don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Just continue to. Be great on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. It's so true. It is so true. Um, this work of inspiring and motivating others and then still trying to maintain your own life, it can be challenging. And at times, it can be tiresome. But you're always reminded to get up and keep going. And you're always confronted with, not confronted, but presented with opportunities to help other people and inspire other people. And I do believe that anything you went through, Bree, or myself or others, is not a waste. It's not a waste because it was equipping you. It was lessons, it was instruction on once you get through it, you can help someone else get through it. So I thank you for being a champion and for continuing to show up for people, whether it be through cosmetology with helping people feel beautiful, feel confident, or spoken words. Any way you look at it, you're someone that's always on my radar. I'm always watching what you're doing, and you know, gonna get your new books. I read your older ones. I'm gonna get your new books because I know that you do help people to be great on purpose, and I want to be great.
All right. All right.
I want to be great. So I really, really appreciate you being here and doing this. And if people are interested in contacting you, what is the best way?
So I am on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Um, I have a salon in Belleville, Illinois. I call it a one-stop shop because we do manicures, pedicures, hair, nails, eyebrows, eyelashes. You need
Everything.
it, we do it. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Most
Okay.
social media platforms under Bree Davis or
Okay.
Bree D3 or Fresh from A to Z Salon or Creative Styles. I
Okay.
ain't hard to find.
Not hard to find at all. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Well, we'll make sure we get that information in there too. I think it's going to be in the description in YouTube. If it is not, if anybody just comments and wants more information, we will definitely send it as well. Because you know, you're streaming everywhere: Facebook,
Okay,
LinkedIn,
now.
and Twitch. So, anyone, no matter what platform you're listening to, please like, share, and help spread the message not only about Voices of Resilience, but get to know Bree, reach out to Bree, get her books, get her workbooks, you
They're
know.
on Amazon and Kindle.
Perfect. And
Absolutely.
so they have the title so they can just search you up as well as an author on Amazon. So I appreciate you. Hang in there. Don't get off yet. We're gonna check out with our listeners and until the next episode. And again, thank you, Bree, for being here. And
Thank you, Miss Davina. Thank you, Mama Lions. I appreciate
uh, thanks.
it.
Okay.